So at this hotel with breakfast, they've got little shot glasses that you can fill with fish oil.
Yeah.
Day 7, another bumpy road. So that bumpy road led here, our first stop on day 7. And again, as I've been doing, let me just spin around and show you what's back there. Now, I took a glacial geomorphology course, and this looks exactly like what was in my textbooks. It is just amazing to be standing so close. Now, a lot of people are choosing to shoot this with longer focal lengths, and you might walk up to a scene and think you need a wide angle to encompass all this, but oftentimes in scenes like this, a wide angle is just going to make everything look a little small and puny, and a telephoto lens is really going to allow you to compress the foreground and background, bringing all of this ice right up to the glacier and giving you a really nice composition and giving you a little bit better of a sense of scale. Now, a few minutes ago, there was a little zodiac running around out there that really gave you a sense of scale, and that is that this glacier is freaking immense. Renee is back here with a great tip, and that is even when you're in a place that's as scenic as this location, keep your eyes open for other interesting aspects to photograph. Like we have these little flowers nestled in the rocks, and she's found some and made some really nice compositions back there. The diversity of this landscape is awesome. You know, around every turn there's something to photograph. Rolling hills, sharp peaks, glaciers, waterfalls, sheep, reflections in lakes. I'm taking shelter in this cave. It is brutal out there. You can't see anything, but it is pouring and serious wind so that the rain goes sideways. Check it out though, we have these super cool caves with all these basalt columns that we can take shelter in from the rain. I actually didn't bring anything to waterproof my camera, so I have borrowed from one of the trip participants one of these nice handy dandy Optech rain sleeves, and it's currently keeping the Sony plus the 7200 and the 2x converter dry. I have all that on there because I hope to capture a few puffins which are in the cliffs above us. The morning of day 8, and this hotel we're staying in here in Vic actually has 2 TVs. This little one and this big one. Check it out. Here we are a little bit later on the morning of day 8 at Skogafoss. If you've seen Walter Mitty, you've seen that waterfall. So again, nice and early, pretty quiet here, not a whole lot of other people, but again, this is a nice place to have somebody head up towards the base of the waterfalls to add a little perspective or scale, because it's really difficult to get a sense of just how massive this waterfall is. Our weather has taken a turn for more Icelandic conditions, much cooler. We had some serious rain yesterday, as you saw from a little bit of the puffins. And I've got a little bit of a cold or something, so I might sound a little stuffy. But still enjoying this amazing country. I was working with Michelle here. He's found this puddle that you've got this great reflection after they get rid of the apple core. No, you're good. And they're shooting the reflection of the waterfall plus the waterfall right there. So we've driven out through what looked like a giant Zen garden, and we've arrived here at this plane that's crashed. Back in 1973, a DC-3 ran out of fuel as it was coming in, and they just left the wreckage here, and it's kind of a cool photographic subject. I'm going to be using the Sony fisheye here to get some really up-close, wide-angle shots, just to kind of exaggerate this landscape. We have this waterfall that you can go back underneath. This is Skogafoss. I'm not saying that right. But what I did read on the sign in the English translation is that it comes through Troll Woman's Gorge before falling off this cliff into this pool of water here. Pretty spectacular falls scene. Not so easy to photograph, but again, I'm using the really wide-angle Sony. Shot some slow motion, 120 frames per second video. See how that will turn out. Should be interesting. Oh, saying that just reminded me that I should double my shutter speed. I think I was at a slower shutter speed than I should have been for that. So I'm going to shoot some of that again. If you're shooting at 120 frames a second, your shutter speed should be 250th or 240th to get the best look. About overcast days as we got nice even light for me and the background, because that's what's really important here. So what you're looking at back here is our ferry boat that we're about to take to a town that starts with the name of V. It's on a little island. One of the cool things about the island is it's full of these cute little harbors, kind of this classic scene of the little fishing boats, reflections. It also has the notoriety, I guess you could say, of being partly covered by lava. Several years ago, or maybe a few more than that, I need to study up, some lava erupted from a volcano on the island, flowed over part of the houses, and there's a little museum devoted to that we're going to check out as well. Some nervousness from some of our crew about getting on this ferry until we saw it. It's a serious ferry, but what you can't see is the ocean back there. There are some serious waves today. It's quite stormy, quite windy, so it'll be an interesting ride. A lot of people took Dramamine. I don't think anybody's going to be heaving over the side. But you never know. A little rough out there. You can just start to see a glimpse of what I was talking about. Well, it turns out it was rough enough that our bus can't get on this ferry boat because they can't secure it, and it would just start knocking around and banging into the other cars, I guess. So we took our stuff off the bus, onto the boat, and we are leaving probably in about 15 minutes, and I'll be sure to share some high seas adventures with you all. I just want to say how rad these lifeboats look. They look like little submarines. So, I feel like we're in good hands. These are some waves. Wow. This report is coming to you from somewhere in the North Atlantic. We've been on this boat now for, I don't know, about an hour and a half or so, I guess. We're probably about 3/4 of the way to our destination, which is that little town of Haimimi. I'm probably saying that completely wrong, but and the city on the island, it starts with V. It's West Islands, I believe, is the English translation. The seas are rough. The North Atlantic does not mess around, and it has caused some serious seasickness on this boat, on this ferry today. Seasickness tip for you, because I was reading, because I'm feeling pretty queasy myself. I don't think I'm going to barf, though. Is to tell yourself, one of the tips is to tell yourself that you don't get seasickness. They say that's a good tip, just because it is mostly mind over body. But I know when your body is freaking out and stuff is coming up, it's a little hard to tell yourself that you don't get seasick. I found this really nice comfy couch. This will be a great story to tell someday about my Icelandic travels. All right, so we survived that trip on the boat. I would say that a good number of people got sick. A lot of people took Dramamine. I don't think anybody's going to be heaving over the side. Just about everybody has recovered as soon as the boat stopped really rocking. There's some serious waves. The boat just up, and plunging. And there were a couple where it would hit right into the next big wave, and the whole boat would just shudder. It was intense. It was intense. I actually fell asleep towards the end a little bit, which was nice. Woke up with a little drool on my face there. I know you all wanted to know about that about the trip. We are in this really cool little town now. It's dark, it's late, we're all going to go to bed, but we're going to get up early and just start wandering around and see what there is to explore.
You guys doing? How's your rest?